Good afternoon, welcome to the OGTV News at 2. Doyinsola Ogunbadewa is my name. You can watch us live on Facebook at OGTV and Ogun State Television, on YouTube at OGTV Abeokuta, and on OGTV website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, you can check us on Twitter, Ogun TV, on Instagram, Ogun State Television, or you download the OGTV app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. President Bola Tinubu has declined to receive a special delegation from South African President Cyril Ramaphosa over the ongoing xenophobic attacks on Nigerians in South Africa, directing the visiting team to instead meet with the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Shola Eniko-Layi. The delegation, led by South Africa's Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Ronald Lamola, has sought an audience with the president after arriving in Abuja. Instead, Tinubu instructed them to engage with Eniko-Layi, who was appointed Minister of State for Foreign Affairs in June 2026, after Ambassador Bianca Odumegwu Ojukwu was elevated to substantive ministerial position following the exit of Yusuf Tugur. The development comes amid a diplomatic row between both countries over renewed xenophobic attacks targeting Nigerians and other African nationals in South Africa, which first the evacuation of nearly 600 Nigerians back home. The minister lamented what he described as a persistent pattern of attacks against Nigerians, stretching back more than 3 decades. The federal government has said it is in the process of issuing forms to Nigerians who lost property during the recent wave of attacks in South Africa to formally document their losses. It said this is part of preparations to table compensation claims in ongoing diplomatic negotiations with the South African government. Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Shola Eniko-Layi, discussed this after briefing President Bola Tinubu on Monday's meeting with South Africa's Foreign Minister Roland Lamola, who visited Abuja as a special envoy of President Cyril Ramaphosa in response to the diplomatic crisis triggered by the attacks on Nigerian nationals. Eniko-Layi said in preparation for them to lodge their complaints, they have designed a form to be filled by all Nigerians who may have lost property in South Africa. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has warned political opponents seeking to unseat him in 2027 that he would not yield ground without a fight and that all was fair in a democratic contest. Tinubu made the remarks when he received the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. He also dismissed concerns about the electoral process, defending the Independent National Electoral Commission against accusations of bias. He argued INEC is neutral. They have never intimidated anybody. If political opponents are crying wolf, then they are afraid of their own shadows and the uncertainty in the company they keep. As part of its commitment to reducing illiteracy and empowering the populace through its vocational and skills acquisition programs, Ogun State Ministry of Education, Science and Technology has trained adults and non-formal educators across the 20 local government areas of the state. The Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabo, during a one-day capacity building workshop organized by the Agency for Mass and Long Life Education for Adult Facilitators at the conference room of the ministry in Okemoso, Abeokuta, said, as a critical component of education system, the adult and non-formal sector has received significant attention by the Prince Takbo Abiodun-led administration. Professor Arigbabo added that the attention was to foster a transformative and inclusive approach to education. ensuring that no one is left behind without the opportunity to acquire literacy, essential life skills, and market-relevant vocational competences needed for productive living and sustainable livelihoods, represented by Special Advisor to the Governor on Education, Dr. Lukman Kiadisi. The Commissioner noted that government has consistently made intervention, reducing the rate of out-of-school children in the nooks and crannies of the state, adding that all activities and programs in the sector has also been included on digital platform for educational revitalization platform.
Let me assure you that the person that is committed to study both human and material resources available to adults and non-formal education sector in the state. Together, we will continue to create an enabling and motivating environment that empowers our citizens, promotes social inclusion, and continue to a more enlightened and prosperous society.
Her remarks, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Mrs. Oluwatosin Oloko, stated that building an empowered society is a collective responsibility which requires dedication, creativity, and a willingness to adapt to changing realities, saying knowledge and strategies shared during the seminar should be implemented in respective centers and communities. Welcoming guests to the program, Director of Education Agency for Mass Education and Lifelong Education, Ms. Abosede Odulesi, said facilitators' responsibility transcends teaching adults to read and write. Rather, it was to empower them with the knowledge, attitudes, and competencies required to become economically productive. The Dagbure Way of Idowa in Ijebu, Odogbolu local government area of Ogun State, Obaseki Okayode Okuribido, has appealed to the Ogun State Commissioner of Police, Bode Ojajini, to urgently address the lingering land disputes allegedly fueled by suspected land grabbers, which has continued to threaten peace, security in the community. The appeal came during the Commissioner of Police visits to Idowa Ijebu to assess the security situation, engage with stakeholders, and reassure residents of the command's commitment to maintaining law and order. Olaide Oloye Sholuade reports.
The visit by the Ogun State Commissioner of Police, Bode Ojajuni, followed a recent press conference jointly addressed by sons and daughters of Idowa, where concerns were raised over the activities of suspected land grabbers, and a passionate call was made for urgent government intervention. Receiving the police commissioner, the Dagbure of Idowa, Obaseki Kayode Okuribido, expressed concern over the prolonged land dispute, alleging that the activities of the suspected land grabbers have disrupted the peace of the community, endangered lives, and discouraged development. He appealed to the police command to ensure justice and restore lasting peace.
Pressure has been much in the last 3, 4, 5 weeks because these ballers have been coming, giving me this situation report, and I'm not happy with what they are doing. For land grabbers to come and be telling us that they owned 4 towns, Imodi, Moson, Aguru, and Ikongba. I'm over 60 now, and I've never heard of this kind of a thing, particularly in our local government. So this coming now, I think is something that the government should look into seriously, and I'm happy that the CP was here today.
In his response, Commissioner of Police, Bode Ojajuni, assured the community that the command would conduct a thorough and impartial investigation into the matter, stressing that anyone found culpable would face the full weight of the law.
And I have promised them that we are going to look into it very dispassionately. On Monday, that is the coming week Monday, I've directed the officer in charge of the investigation to invite all parties, the alleged land grabbers, the community leaders, all of them with their lawyers, to come to my office on Monday. I'm going to personally sit on it and look into it.
The police commissioner also urged residents to remain peaceful, refrain from taking the law into their hands, and continue to support security agencies with timely and credible information that would aid ongoing investigations and prevent any breakdown of law and order.
My words for the communities, the citizens, is for them to be calm. They should have confidence in the Nigeria Police Force. They should have confidence in the criminal justice system, because justice will definitely be served.
As part of the visit, the commissioner inspected the divisional police barrack currently under renovation in Idowa, where the traditional ruler appealed for sustained support towards its completion to strengthen security architecture and improve policing in the community. The commissioner also visited the existing police station in Idowa to access its operational facilities and interact with officers as part of efforts to enhance effective policing and improve security service delivery in the area. Olaide Oloye Sholuade, OGTV News.
All the three tiers of government in Nigeria have been told to synergize to curb banditry and insurgency for socio-economic and political development of the country. The Bishop of Egba Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Emmanuel Adekunle, who stated this in Abeokuta at a press conference to flag up the Golden Jubilee of the diocese, also said only the return of schools to the churches can checkmate moral decadence in the country. Fowora Adesowo reports.
For 2 weeks, starting from Tuesday, July 28th to Sunday, August 2nd, 2026, Egba Anglican Diocese, according to Bishop of Egba Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Emmanuel Adekunle, will be set agog for its Golden Jubilee anniversary.
The ministers in the diocese that were created was about 40. But after creating Yewa, creating Ifo, creating Egba West, even the current Egba Diocese, we are looking at 300 churches and over 200 priests.
Founding fathers of the diocese, including Oba Samuel Adesina Gbadebo, the Alake of Egba land, who reigned between 1968 and 1971, will be given posthumous award. Similarly, the former head of interim national government, Chief Ernest Shogunle Shonekon, and the present Alake and paramount ruler of Egba land are to be honored for their contributions to the growth of evangelism in an event which is expected to be attended by former President Olusegun Obasanjo and the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun.
And thousands and others were invited. It's not that we just having purposely to come and visit the home. Our people who then come and visit our people. They arrived for harvest. And they came. But we are champions here.
Bishop Adekunle listed sporting activities, musical competition, youth, children, diocesan activities, and diocesan women day as part of the activities lined up for the week-long celebration. Other activities include Holy Communion at all parishes, anniversary lecture, Day of the Aged, and a visit to the prison, hospitals, and leper colony, quiz competition, as well as dedication of the diocesan projects. Right Reverend Emmanuel Adekunle commended the federal government for its reform and putting in place durable infrastructure across Nigeria, while pledging to key into developmental agenda of Prince Dapo Abiodun, Governor of Ogun State, to boost the fortunes of his diocese. The bishop was not, however, convinced that insurgency and banditry were not targeted at evangelism growth and called for the return of schools to the churches, while bemoaning fake pastors who tarnish true and genuine work of God. Adefowora Adesowo, OGTV News.
The Team Auto, a political group led by Asiwaju Oredipe, has donated a building and vehicles and other materials to the campaign of the gubernatorial candidate of APC in Ogun State, Senator Solomon Adeola. Asiwaju Oredipe, who also had the ambition of governing the state, revealed at the ceremony, well attended by traditional rulers, party members, that the gesture is born out of the total belief in the capacity of the senator to work in the best interest of Ogun East and Ogun State at large. Matthew Showomi completes the report.
Generally described as an opportune moment
for the reciprocation of the 1979 political gesture extended by Ogun West to the region, the former handing over of a building, vehicles, and other materials presented a good opportunity to declare the total support of Ogun East for Senator Adiola.
All the people of Ijebu Northeast, we are solidly behind him, behind all the candidates. We are building together. At the end of the day, we want to see that people are actually working. Omobada Kwabiodun, he has done well, and we are expecting more in 2027.
Seeing everything that is going on, especially in the Ogun East, you know Yayi is the candidate in 1978, 79. Ijebu and Yewa or Egbado then, we are all one.
In 2027, for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and our governorship candidate.
With the full attendance of traditional rulers, community leaders, unions and associations, APC leaders in Ogun East, the people declare that the zone has not just a moral responsibility to give the governorship candidates an overwhelming support, but also the belief in its capacity to continue with the good work currently going on in the state.
We have seen someone that I personally call a unifier. If you go along the line, he has unified all the past government. God has given us Yayi. What we need to do now is to rally around him and support him.
For anyone to come and challenge him in Ogun State today, it's not going to be easy. And when you look at what he has been doing as a senator in Ogun West, Ogun East, you can see all his projects all around. So already he has made his mark.
They can see what he's doing, who he is, and they know that he has capacity and capabilities to really turn this state around. If somebody like that is elected to lead Ogun State as the governor, he will perform wonderfully well.
Asiwaju Tunji Oredipe says having seen the alignment between his manifesto, which centers around the good of the majority of the citizens and the impressive track record of performance of the senator, he has decided to collapse his campaign structure into that of the governorship candidate.
The mood of the people around here, very good. Yayi is the son to every reasonable person in Ogun State. God has blessed us with him. We are going to support him, and we are just waiting for the day.
Addressing the gathering, Senator Adiola assured that every benefit that Ogun East deserves will get to the zone, adding that he was one of the first set of lawmakers to sign the bill on the creation of Ijebu State, signaling his support for the zone at all times. Who revealed government that works for everyone as his manifesto promised to work with Asiwaju Oredipe and his team to realize his vision for Ijebu Northeast, Ogun East, and the people.
I'm not surprised by this massive show of support that I'm receiving here today. And I can assure you that I'm going to work with the Ijebus, I'm going to partner with them, and together we will make Ijebu great. And as I've said, anything that is in the interest of the Ijebus, I will always support.
The branded campaign vehicles and buildings were then formally presented to the governorship candidates. Matthew Showmi, OGTV News.
The Youth and Students Wing of the Yayi Progressives Movement, YPM, has announced plans to organize a 10,000 Youth and Students Solidarity Trek in support of the All Progressives Congress APC governorship candidate in Ogun State, Senator Solomon Olamileko Adiola, popularly known as Yayi. The announcement was made during a press briefing held at the Iwe-Iroyin Press Center, Okelewo, Abeokuta, by the Students Wing Coordinator, Comrade Dotun Okwaleye. Bumi Adigun completes the story.
The Youth and Students Wing of the Yayi Progressives Movement, YPM, has declared its support for the All Progressives Congress APC governorship candidate in Ogun State, Senator Solomon Olamileko Adiola, ahead of the 2027 governorship election. Addressing journalists at the Iwe-Iroyin Press Center, Okelewo, Abeokuta, the Students Wing Coordinator, Comrade Dotun Okwaleye, announced plans to organize a 10,000 youth and students solidarity trek He described the initiative as a peaceful demonstration of support for purposeful leadership and an avenue to encourage greater youth participation in the democratic process.
As we have officially announced the 10,000 student solidarity trek in support of our distinguished leader, distinguished Senator Solomon Olamilekan Adiola, known as Yayi. This gathering is more than the announcement of an event. It's a declaration of our collective belief in visionary leadership, educational advancement, student participation, grassroots mobilization, and the continued progress of our state.
Comrade Okpale commended Senator Adiola for his contributions to education, youth empowerment, and community development. He noted that the senator recently awarded bursaries and scholarships to 5,312 students across universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education, describing the gesture as a demonstration of his commitment to investing in the future of young people. The YPM youth leader, Comrade Bola Awotubo, also called on youth, students, APC members, and other supporters to participate in the Solidarity Trek. According to him, the event is a peaceful civic engagement designed to promote unity, responsible leadership, and active youth involvement in governance.
This event is a peaceful expression of appreciation for purposeful leadership and an opportunity for young people to reaffirm their commitment to democratic participation and responsible citizenship.
Both leaders assured residents that the Solidarity Trek will be peaceful and well coordinated. They urged all participants to remain orderly, disciplined, and law-abiding throughout the exercise, while calling on security agencies and members of the public to support the initiative in the interest of a peaceful democratic process. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
Progressive Community Leaders Forum in Ogun State has organized a special interfaith and congregational prayers for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Senator Olamilekan Adiola, and all progressives political candidates under the ruling party, seeking divine guidance, peace, and success for the administrations. The event, held at Ake Palace Ground, attracted real fathers and community leaders across Southwest.
Faithfuls from different denominations converged on the Ake Palace Ground in Abeokuta to seek divine intervention, protection, and victory for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Senator Olamilekan Adiola, the APC governorship candidate, and other candidates of the ruling party, whom they described as divinely positioned agents of transformation. In his welcome address, the Chairman Planning Committee, Omoba Komolafe Olatunji, the Baale of Ipameso-Oke, Otaworiland, said the forum is proud of the success recorded by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration.
We are proud of this remarkable success recorded over the years in the office of our President and Senator Ogun West, to mention but few. Our profound gratitude also goes to the Executive Governor of Ogun State, His Excellency Prince Dapo Abiodun, and his team for their administration commitments in infrastructure, security, human capital development within Ogun State, and his support for the consensus candidates of APC governorship candidacy of Senator Olamilekan.
The guest lecturer, after the special prayer, delivered a passionate message that spanned several key areas of leadership, governance, and national development. Some of the members of the Progressive Community Leaders Forum at the event say no meaningful progress can be achieved without the hand of God upon our leaders.
gbogbo ẹni tó bá fi ṣe olórí ìlú àbí bá fi ṣe olórí ìjọ ọ̀pọ̀ ó ti mọ̀ pé àdúrà ló gbọ́dọ̀ máa gbà kí ìlú yẹn lè tòrò nígbà tí Nàìjíríà bá dáa ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá máa dáa.
ìdí tá a fi gbé ètò àdúrà ìkalẹ̀ ni pé láti fi ran bàbá wa President Bola Ahmed Tinubu lọ́wọ́ àti gbogbo àwọn tó ń díje du ipò lábẹ́ àsíá ẹgbẹ́ APC.
Special prayers were also offered for the Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun at the event.
Thank you for watching the news at 2 on OGTV. But before I go, keep your face always towards the sunshine and shadows will fall behind you.